Welcome to session 1, and we're going to talk about ventriloquist puppets and ventriloquism. I have been in ministry a lot of years, and I have found having a ventriloquist puppet has been so helpful to me, mostly because when you're alone and you don't have the help that you need, then you can just have the puppet yourself, and you just have to learn the puppet skit and do ventriloquism. I'm going to show you one of the main puppets that I've used over the years, and then I'm going to talk about, how to use them and a few things about them. Okay, so this is my puppet Pedro. And there's lots of little things that you can do to make them a little fun. I sometimes say he likes sleeping, so I have to wake him up. Come on, Pedro, wake up, come on, everybody's here. I'm tired, I don't want it. Come on, Pedro, my goodness. He loves sleeping because, you see, he loves his siesta, and those are naps that they have in Mexico. But anyway, we'll wake him up. Come on, Pedro. Come on, it's time to get up. I don't want to. Well, Pedro, there's girls out here. Oh, okay, I'm coming out. Just a minute. Here I come. Okay, let me help you with your hat. Oh, yes, my head is coming off. Okay, come on, here we go. Atta boy. There we go. Come on, let's come and see the kids. Okay, there we go. How are you doing, Pedro? Oh, I'm doing good. Hello there, everyone, especially the girls, Pedro. Well, I can't help that I like girls. I know you do, but you have to be a good boy today, because we want everybody to be happy. Well, I don't think they're all very happy out there. Well, there are things that make us unhappy, Oh, yes, I know. Like eating spinach, yuck. You don't like spinach? Oh, no, I don't like it. And what else makes you sad and not happy? Well, I don't like to clean my room. I don't like it at all. Well, Pedro, there's things in life that we have to do that we don't like. But we can be happy all the time. What do you think would make you really happy? Well, I think if I had a chocolate bar, I'd be happy. Well, what happens when you eat the chocolate bar? Well, then I get another one. Okay, and what happens when you eat that one? Well, I get another one. Okay, what happens when that was gone? Well, then I got a tummy ache. Okay. Well, I know some people think if they had lots of money, they'd be happy. Oh, yes, that would make me very, very happy. Well, not all the time. What would you buy with all the money? Well, I would get a whole lot of bicycles and, let's see, I would get some baseball gloves, and anything I wanted to have, I could get it if I had lots of money. That would make me happy. Well, I know who the richest man in the world was and is. Oh, is that the pastor? No, it's not the pastor. It's a man from the Bible. His name was Solomon. Oh, yes. Well, Solomon had all kinds of money. Well, how did he get it? Well, he asked God for it, right? No, he didn't. Actually, he didn't ask God for it. So God gave it to him. Well, is that how you get money? Okay, I don't want $5. Sorry, that's not going to work. Well, it worked for Solomon. That's because God asked Solomon what he wanted, and Solomon didn't ask for money. He asked God for wisdom to rule the people because he was the new king. And because he wasn't selfish and asked for stuff for himself, God gave him lots of riches. He had everything he wanted. So you see, it's not having all kinds of things that make us happy, because you know what happened to Solomon? No, I don't. Well, he ended up turning away from God. And he was not very happy. Well, did he lose his money? No, he still had his money, but he wasn't happy inside, because money can't make us happy inside, you know. Oh yes, I guess that's true. Well, do you want to sing a song? Oh yes, I like that. Hello, you lovely girls. I'm going to sing this song for you. No, you're going to sing it for everyone. Well, okay. Here goes. Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Little ones to him they belong. They are weak, but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Well, that was very nice, Pedro. I lost my hat. Oh, well, that's okay. I think it's time to go anyway. Okay, I will see all you lovely ladies later. Pedro, okay, see everyone later. So long. Okay. Okay, we're going to put you back in. There you go. There you go. Are you comfortable? Oh, yes, it's nice. I'm going to sleep. Okay, good. So that is kind of like a fun thing to do with a puppet, but it's also teaching a Bible story. But it's making it fun and different. And I'll tell you, the kids will remember it because the puppet said it. Whatever the puppet says, they remember. Now, there's lots of puppets that you can use for ventriloquism. It doesn't have to be an elaborate one like this. I've had him for years and years. But you can even take a puppet, if you have one like this, and you can put legs on him, and pants on him, and shoes. And you can use him as a ventriloquist puppet. Same as these little ones, you know. I'm going to be doing a lesson on how to make puppets. We wouldn't have time to do elaborate ones, but we'll do simple ones. And so you can use these type of puppets, and again, put some legs on them, okay? And these type of puppets, you can put arms on them, okay? And that way you can make them a little more realistic, you know. You have to be careful not to be swinging them around a lot, but you can make them, hi there, partner, how you doing? Okay, nice to see you guys up there. Okay, you can use the hands like this. Now, a lot of people shy away from ventriloquism because they feel self-conscious, being, moving their mouth and everybody watching their mouth. To be honest with you, people sometimes do watch your mouth to see if you're moving it, but once they get into the program, they forget all about your mouth. They don't even pay any attention to it. But if you're self-conscious and you just don't feel like you can do that, here's another alternative you can use. I call this puppet Jack, and he lives in a box. Jack in the box. Okay, so I would say, come on, Jack, come on out. Oh, hi there, how you doing? Now you see, this puppet I have made, it's just a simple old sock puppet. The secret is not whether you're moving your mouth or not, and not even how elaborate your puppet is. It's how realistic you make it seem. Now, so he could be used like that. Hi, how you doing? It's nice to be here today. Or you can use them like this if you're, like I said, intimidated by doing ventriloquism. So you can have Jack come out. Hi, I'm Jack. Okay, or you could have him, this is Jack. Hi, Jack. Are you going to talk to the people today? Oh, why not? Oh, you're nervous. Well, if you're nervous, you can just tell me in my ear, and then I'll tell the boys and girls what you want to say. Is that all right? Okay, all right. So what are you going to do today? Oh, now notice when I'm using him that I'm making the facial expressions. That is what's going to sell them on whether looks realistic, is how I react. Oh, yeah, okay, what are you going to teach? What are you going to tell us today? Oh, well, that's nice. Yeah, they'll like that. It's the story of whatever. And so he, instead of like where he's talking and you're just letting him talk in your ear. Now, you can't do long skits like that because it gets too boring. You have to do just quick and easy ones. Maybe he's going to tell the memory verse. Oh, you're telling the memory verse today. Oh, good. And where is the memory verse found? Oh, he's found in the Bible, right? Yeah, that's God's word. Isn't that right? Mm-hmm. And what is the memory verse you're going to tell us? Oh, I like that one. John 3:16. Yes, that's a wonderful verse because it talks about God's love, right? Okay, and then for God, and you just go through the memory verse. So these kind of are cute for that. And especially, I have found little children do not like puppets like Pedro. They get afraid of them. You're better with little children 5 years old and younger is to use this type of a puppet because it doesn't look that real. But I have found little ones will actually cry when I've brought Pedro out. So I would not advise children 5 and under to have something like that. Now the bigger ones like these, I think they would be fine with too because they're not as real looking as Pedro. And so I think the little ones would be fine with any type of cloth puppets. So just, and again, you want to be careful with the movement of the mouth. When I there's another session, session 2, where I show the mouth movements. So you could check that one out, but I'll just go through it a little bit. So if I had Pedro or any other ventriloquist puppet, you would always use syllables, not just the whole word, like baby would be you're doing a syllable, and you don't open the mouth too wide because they get too choppy. So you just want to open it a little bit and try to make it look as realistic as you can. Now I sometimes will have a sheet of paper near me that I can look down upon and with some main points of what I'm going to do. But I would never read it off my little skit off of a sheet of paper. You want to know the whole works of whatever you're going to say, and you're going to learn it. You're going to keep going over it and over it in your mind till you know it quite well. And then you can just, if you miss something, it's no big deal as long as you know the main points of whatever you're doing. But sometimes when I'm teaching and I get so much else going on in my mind, I find it good if I just have a few points down here so I make sure I kind of touch those main points of what I'm doing. But you don't want it to look obvious. You don't want to be going down here, okay, like while you've got this puppet here. You just want it there that he's talking, you just kind of glance down at your paper to see if you've missed anything, and that helps a lot. Now, talking without moving your mouth, there's no big secret to that. They used to say, oh, you're throwing your voice and all that stuff. Nah. It's called an illusion. It's where it's something that doesn't look like you're doing it. So what is happening is, all you're doing is talking without moving your lips as much as possible. Okay? So just try it. Open your mouth a little bit, because if your mouth's not open a bit, the sound is not going to come out. So just open your mouth a bit and then try to talk without moving your lips. Hi, how are you today? you're using your tongue a lot because you're not moving your lips. Now, there are a few letters that are hard, like mum, mother, because you have to and buh, and puh. There's just a few letters that are difficult to do without moving your lips. So, like Pedro, he's from Mexico, so if he doesn't pronounce the words exactly right, nobody's going to notice. So that's how I get around that. But the more I do it, the more confident I am, and I'll do it with a regular puppet. Because kids aren't so much concerned whether or not you're saying it exactly right. So if I said mother, I'd go, nother. And you kind of do it like an N, nother. And if you do it fast, nother, then it sounds like mother. So there's just a few little tricks like that that you learn as you go along. But the main thing is, don't let fear stop you, because that's what happens. People are afraid to get up in front of people and do anything. But it's so rewarding. I remember the first time I did a puppet, and I did it in a kindergarten class. That's a good place to start, because, if you don't do it right, well, who's going to care? They're just kindergarten kids. And anyway, I did this little puppet thing in the kindergarten class, and afterwards a little boy comes up and says, I know how you did that. I know how that puppet was talking. And I thought, oh boy, here's a little kindergarten child knows that I'm, doing the talking. You have somebody over there behind that screen, haven't you? And they're doing the talking. So I felt really good after that, and it kind of made me more confident in doing it with older kids. And eventually I felt comfortable doing it in front of adults. And the amazing thing to me is how much adults like the puppets. So don't let fear stop you. And like I said, if you're afraid, just use a puppet that talks in the ear. And it takes a little bit of practice. Don't just, say, oh, I can do this and grab it and just, you want to practice it. You want it to look right. You want to look like the mouth movement is that the puppet's actually saying what you're saying for it. And so practice is one of the greatest things. And you can use any kind of a puppet. I don't care what it is. You can use little sock puppets. You can use the big Muppet puppets. You can use a more professional puppet. You can even use objects, like even just okay, something's in this box. I wonder what it is. I'm in here. Well, what are you doing in the box? Well, I'm afraid to come out. Oh, you're afraid to come out? Yeah. Can I just talk to the kids from here? Well, they would like to see you, but I guess for the first time you can do that. Okay, I want to tell a story. So you see, I'm talking to a box. And again, it's going to be your facial expressions that's going to make or break ventriloquism. It's like you have to act like you're really listening to him, and you're surprised when he says something, and if he says something silly, you laugh. If he's saying something he shouldn't, you go, oh, no, so your facial expressions is one of the keys to ventriloquism. And on my website, I have skits that you can use. Feel free to download them. And it's gospel2kids.com. So it's gospel, the number 2, kids. So gospel2kids.com. And there is some skits there that you can use and to get you started, okay? And once you start using these skits, you'll start to get ideas of your own. And I don't use everything in the skit. I just pick things out of it that I know would be good for my puppet and for whatever I'm doing. The other thing is, use your puppet, whatever your puppet is saying or doing, let it go along with your lesson. So if your lesson is about love, have the puppet doing something on love. Find a little skit that's about love and use that, because you want your lesson to overall be the same theme, not the puppet saying one thing and then you've got this, and no, let it be the one theme that flows throughout your whole day. Now, another thing I would say is most puppets should be funny. They should be like Pedro, he can be funny and yet teach a lesson. Not all your puppets have to be funny, but there's lots of different personalities and kids and people and puppets. So your puppet can, you want to give it a personality. Now, Pedro, he's from Mexico, and he likes girls, and he says, well, a lot, so just get it, and you can also add where he says, si, señora, or whatever, like I'm talking Mexican. I had lots of fun when I went to Texas and was teaching children down there, and a lot of them were Mexican, and I have a Mexican puppet who doesn't speak Spanish. So that was a little difficult, but I just said, oh, he's been in Canada too long, he forgets his Spanish. But you can, the reason I made him from Mexico, because I looked down and said, he looks kind of like he's Mexican, so I think he would do good as a Mexican puppet. Give your puppet a personality, okay? You can have different traits, like a lazy puppet, a grumpy puppet, a sad puppet that you're always trying to cheer up, a silly puppet, an odd-looking puppet. Any of these things, just to give him a personality. Like I said, I look at a puppet and say, okay, what do you look like? For example, this puppet here, he looks like a worker. He suppose he's got his helmet on. So I could make him like Buddy, Buddy, he's the tough guy, and yet Buddy is tough, but he works for God, and he's so things like that. This guy here is a police officer, okay? So I would use him as he keeps the law of God. So if he was, a good one would be if he taught the 10 Commandments, okay, because those are the laws of God, and each day you could use him to tell the kids what the law is of God, and just like a law, God's laws, there's punishment for God's laws, just like there is in a regular, cop on the beat when he arrests somebody for doing wrong. So these are the things you want to look for. This is a silly one I made. I've made a few of the sock puppets, and this one is just as simple as can be, and yet he can be quite, funny and cute and everything. And again, it depends on the size of your class. You don't want a great big huge puppet if you've just got a small class. You can, but you certainly can't have a small puppet with a great big large class, because they're not even going to see the puppet. So those are things to consider when you're doing ventriloquism. Okay, let me see if there's anything else I need to cover. I can look at my notes now because I'm not out in front of you doing a program, but if I was, I certainly wouldn't be doing this. Okay. I think I have covered most everything. Okay, I think I've covered everything. So I hope you enjoyed the lesson today on using ventriloquism in your ministry, and I just pray that God will bless your ministry and that you will use puppets, because kids love puppets. You will never find a child that doesn't like puppets, maybe afraid of them sometimes, but they all love puppets. So use them to reach kids, and you will be blessed, and so will the children that listen to you. So I thank you for listening today. God bless you.